So in the past, I've talked about American Express specifically, but today we are going to switch gears. We are going to talk about Visa. So a little known fact is that maybe you already have this perk with Visa, but you just have yet to discover it. And that is Visa's new partnership with GigSky, where you can get an eSIM complimentary just by having a Visa Infinite card. So whether you are roaming around the world or going on a business trip or going on a family trip, GigSky has you covered because it has coverage over 175 different countries around the world so that you can basically hop from country to country without ever worrying about which SIM card to get, what the roaming fees are like, because it's one app and done. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about what is an eSIM, how it actually works, and of course, what cards are eligible for this incredible perk. And you actually might already have this card in your pocket right now, but you just have yet to unlock this perk. And for anyone who is new to this channel, I'm Grace. I basically research all about the different credit cards and the perks in Canada so that you can take advantage of those perks and sign up so that you can get the best deal and ultimately earn enough points so that you could travel for free as well. 101, what is an eSIM? An eSIM essentially is a digital SIM card that can be installed to your phone, meaning you do not need to have a physical SIM card, meaning you can forget about that little pin that you always needed just to pop the tray out. Those days are gone, and this time you can just download an app, install the eSIM, and you're ready to go and hop around different countries without ever worrying whether you need to reload another SIM or take one out ever again. So it is super handy. I've used it many times across all my different trips, and it has been working wonders for me, and hopefully you get to use it as well. So the eligibility for eSIMs generally, I would say, is that all of the newer iPhone models, maybe even 10 plus, so within the past 5 or 6 years of an iPhone or an Android would have the ability to install an eSIM, and it's also super quick to install. It takes less than a minute or maybe 2 minutes if it's your first time installing. Otherwise, it is ready to go. You buy different packages for data, and then you can basically use data and you can top up as you go. Super easy to use, and I would highly recommend it. We're going to dive more into what you are probably looking for, which is the Visa perk itself and what it includes. So I'm going to go by different tiers. I do also have the notes below me so that if I'm looking down, you know why. I just want to be super accurate as best as I can. So with these Visa credit cards, you are able to get 1 gig of data that spans across 15 days. You can do that for twice a year, so essentially 2 trips, and you can get 30% off as well. And the card that's eligible for this offer is the Visa Infinite Privilege card. And the banks that do offer Visa Infinite Privilege card is BMO, CIBC, Desjardins, RBC, TD, and Vancity. If you want to look at your wallet now and see what card you have, and if you do have the little badge that says Visa Infinite Privilege, basically you can get some free data when you are roaming. The second tier is that you can get 1 gig of free data that spans across 15 days once a year. Otherwise, you can get 20% off when you buy a data package with GigSky. And to qualify for this perk, you basically just need a Visa Infinite or a Visa Infinite Business card. So these credit cards tend to have an annual fee of about $120, $140. They tend to float about that. So if you're paying that amount every year for this credit card, then most likely you do have a Visa Infinite card. So the Visa cards in collaboration with banks that are supporting this are BMO, CIBC, Laurentian Bank, Manulife, Meridian, RBC, Scotia, TD, Vancity, and maybe some cards offered by smaller credit unions also have this perk as well. And of course, the very last tier, you get by default 10% off all of the plans that are available with GigSky. And these are your Visa Platinum, Gold, or Classic cards. And here are the banks that offer it, which is CIBC, Chase, Home Trust Company, Laurentian Bank, Desjardins, RBC, Scotiabank, TD, and Vancity as well. So those are the banks that offer it. So depending on which card you have, you do unlock different tiers. And again, the highest tier is you can get 1 gig of data across 15 days twice a year and 30% off all packages. Or the second tier is you can get 1 gig of free data across 15 days. Otherwise, you can get 20% off all packages. And for all the different cards, you can basically get 10% off all the packages. So now that you know which card has it, a few of the perks with having an eSIM is that you no longer have to go SIM card hunting. You no longer have to figure out which convenience store has a SIM card. You are ready to go right when you land. And that is such a perk. You save so much time without trying to figure out how do you install the SIM card? How do you activate it? Can you receive a text message in that country with without incurring a cost to activate the card and so forth. So this saves a lot of hassle, which is why I highly recommend it. And also because you already have data right when you land, you can immediately connect to Google Maps, figure out your hotel destination, and just go straight there without spending at least 30 minutes trying to figure out what SIM card works best for your phone. I'm going to show you very quickly on how to get this perk if you already have the Visa card in hand. Super simple. So you basically download the app, which is the GigSky app here, which I've also got. Once you have this in your phone, you can then activate the offer. What we're looking for is the Visa one, which is exactly this one here, the Visa eligible. So once you hop into there, just tap there, check eligibility, type in the card number that you've got so that it could check, verify, and whether you are qualified for it. So basically you type in your credit card number and it's gonna prompt you what your offer is. And essentially you just redeem the discount and you're ready to go. And you can follow the instructions on how to install it to your phone so you can travel for free essentially. So what I would recommend is for 1 gig is honestly so great. For 15 days is a lot, depending on where you're going. If you are like the sole navigator, then maybe you do need to top up. But keep in mind, depending on which credit card you have, you may be able to get 30% off anyways, which is honestly pretty good. Pull your wallet out right now and just take a look to see which Visa card you have, and then on your next trip, you've got data covered. So with easy as that. If you're interested in trying GigSky, but you don't quite have a Visa yet, then I've got a promo code down below for you, Grace10, where you can get a bit of a discount just by using the promo code itself. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully everyone has safe travels and that now you can travel across the border, you can go across the pond and enjoy your trips hassle-free without ever thinking about what SIM card to get anymore and the currencies, and you can top up on the go, which is the best. And safe travels, everyone. Bye.